Hey, what's going on? My name is Nico and I upload a video to YouTube every single day so I get better at speaking to the camera. Yesterday I was brain rotting on TikTok. It was some type of gender war video and I was just reading the comments. This guy and this woman were arguing. I don't remember what about. And the girl on the feminist side told this guy, you should read this book called The Will to Change. And I don't know, they kept arguing. The girl said, I think you are dismissing the book because of its title. The title implies that men need to change, right? And I'm someone that considers himself to have a really good ability of being able to take his ego down, his ego and pride down. So of course that appealed to me. I'm always sort of calling out people for dismissing things just because of trigger words. And I believe everyone thinks they're open-minded, but I think open-mindedness is a skill, and it's a skill to be able to acknowledge your defense mechanisms in action and being able to, I guess, use logic and dismiss your defense mechanisms. When someone criticizes you, you're automatically on the defensive and you're not open-minded. I think open-mindedness is your ability to take away those defense mechanisms, right? So obviously that applied to me, and I'm someone who's trying to read. I do read 25 pages every day on most days, but recently I started reading books that were not I used to always read self-improvement books, like How to Win Friends and Influence People, Psycho-Cybernetics, Influence, Deep Work. And I don't know, I kind of got bored of them, so then I read an biography. Was it an autobiography? I don't know. It was a story about the founder of Nike and how Nike, the shoe athletic company, came to be. And I was entertained, and I was like, I don't want to read self-improvement books anymore. So then I wanted to read classic literature books. I started reading Catcher in the Rye, but to be honest, I got kind of bored of it. I think I still need to read other types of books, and eventually I will become the type of person that can pay attention and not be too brain rotted to read classic literature nonfiction books. So I read this kind of modern philosophy / business book that was really entertaining. Also because it was easy to read the 25 pages, as the pages were kind of short and it was really easy to digest. It was The Almanac by Naval Ravikant. And I'm getting a little bit off topic here, but then I finished that book and I tried to read The Catcher in the Rye again, and it was too boring. And a piece of advice I got in the book I previously read, The Almanac, the philosophy / business book, is nothing too crazy. It's just like, you should read. Basically, he just said you should read books and read stuff you're passionate about, that you actually want to read, that makes it easy for you. And I thought this came hand in hand when I was reading that TikTok comment about that girl telling this guy to read The Will to Change. And I thought, this is going to be easy for me to read because it's probably a feminist type of book. It's going to include a lot of trigger words like patriarchy and feminism, and it's going to blame men for this. But obviously it's not going to be like the classical, stereotypical feminist, I hate men type of book. So I thought this would stimulate me because it invokes my emotions, and it provokes some triggers. It provokes my defense mechanisms. So in a way, it's a practice for me to improve my ability to be open-minded and take my pride and ego down. And it's going to be stimulating, and like short form content is. And I started reading it today. So this is why I was inspired to make this book. I don't have anything too crazy to say. I think it makes total sense. This author so far is pretty much talking about women needing men to end the patriarchy, and that the patriarchy is bad. She's a feminist. Now, what do I think about that? I'm a red pill bro. I'm someone who's been traditional in the modern sense. The other day I was talking to ChatGPT about what liberal Christianity is, and I think it describes me pretty well. And in the political spectrum, I don't know, I'm super traditional sometimes, but I'm also very liberal, and I'm on the left sometimes. And so, I don't know, I'm pretty in the middle. Sometimes I'm right. I don't know, I'm all over the place because I try to do what's right. in a way, I'm also elitist because the average person is just a piece of poo. But at the same time, I have really hard time believing in free will. And because I have a hard time believing in free will, I can't blame people for anything, because they're just the product of their environment and genetics and the accumulation of everything that's happened in their lives. Sorry, my hand is hurting. Okay, so yeah, I was reading that book. I don't know. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit off track. What the heck was I talking about? Patriarchy? What is the patriarchy? I'm a red pill bro. Let me try to... Are we on the same side? Like, whoever's reading, I don't know. Sorry. Someone calling me? Hold on. Whatever. I need to keep reading. I think... Someone's calling... You know what? I'll just edit this video. I normally do my videos in one take, but I'll just edit it. Alright, so... I got quite off track there, and I got a call, so... I don't know, let me just jump right in. I'm a red pill bro. What do I think of the patriarchy? I feel pressured to say it's bad because I feel like that's what you feminists want to hear. And I also feel pressured to defend traditional gender roles because of my old identity and for all the red pill bros that could be potentially watching this. But hold on, give me a minute. Are gender roles good? Okay, I'm not gonna lie, my first instinct is that gender roles can be good. Hold on, feminists, don't kill me yet. Okay, but in general, I believe that when you have a certain belief and someone presents to you an opposing belief, you have to consider that there is a lot of truth to what they say and that your bias is preventing you from acknowledging that truth. Your bias, your identity, your old pain is preventing you from having that truth. Or if you're one of the rare few people like me who are just super perfect and are super in the center, and there's also people that hate the center and will call me weak for not being able to take a stand. And you know what? I have to, because I just said that often there is truth to an opposing viewpoint, I have to admit that maybe that there is a good possibility and there is truth to me being weak by not being able to have conviction in one stand. But again, some of my key values, some of my core beliefs about this world is that conviction in anything is dangerous. We could have strong beliefs, but at the end of the day, we have to strive for love. So what is is patriarchy the most loving thing that exists? It's obviously not ideal. It's been built over generations of men being able to have all the power. And there should definitely be... I can totally concede that there should be a different system. What is that system? I don't know. It's super hard. If you're a radical feminist, it's probably closer... You should consider the differing viewpoints. If you're a hardcore red pill religious fundamentalist, it's closer to the middle. Am I crazy? Am I weak for saying something as simple as it's probably closer to the middle? So what does an ideal society look like? I don't freaking know. But what I do know is that we have to be able to take down our pride and ego. And I feel like I don't intend to be self-righteous. It's taken me a lot of work to be able to be like this. But at the same time, I feel like I was always going to be like this. My circumstances have allowed me to have a good ability of being able to take down my pride and ego. And I talk way too much about being able to take my pride and ego down that I know in the future someone's gonna clip me saying something that is very egotistical and I'm gonna be called a hypocrite. But everyone's a freaking hypocrite, man. I will make mistakes. Some women are better at being leaders than men. Some men are probably better at being nurturers and caretakers than women. Dismantle the patriarchy, frick the patriarchy. You know what, maybe I'll give it to you. I have to consider more. I have to talk more. We have to consider different viewpoints. We have to look at trade-offs. But yeah, patriarchy isn't ideal. That's a concession I can 100% make. And yeah, maybe it is completely bad and evil. Let me, I guess, defend why I believe certain gender roles might be good. I believe in evolutionary biology, and I believe we have been conditioned and wired to be good and better at certain things. I do believe men's strength and biology has made them more susceptible to take leadership roles, and if you're more likely and more susceptible to be better leaders, then as a whole men might be more suited to be leaders. Of course, this is very slight, and if you train a woman to be a good leader, she will outperform 99% of men in every way. And this is not drastic, but you gotta admit, there are biological differences between us. And I'm not arguing that men are better leaders like that. I'm just arguing that there is a possibility that that feminists underestimate biology. I don't know anything, I haven't read anything, but there probably is. From all my years of doubting free will, I have come to the conclusion is that we undervalue, we underrate small differences. Every single tiny step, every single belief planted in your head, every tiny habit, one thing that was said to you in your childhood, one DNA strand being funky, or one DNA strand making you more susceptible to be a different way, impacts a ton. And men and women have, I don't know, chemical differences in them in a lot of things. And I think that's probably underrated. Of course, we should be able to take our pride and ego down to make the best society that we can. Women hurt, women suffer, men hurt, men suffer. Is it worth it to play the gender war? Probably not. Of course, a lot of my beliefs come from Christian values, and recently I've had them challenged. Yesterday I was walking and hearing a YouTube video from, I don't remember his name. He's like Alex O'Connor's friend. Cosmic Skeptic? No, it's Unsolicited Advice. That's his name. And he was talking about Nietzsche and how our value system was completely wrong. And our value system is essentially Christian values, pretty much, in Western society. And maybe that we were being too weak, and maybe empathy and radical love isn't the way. And I do believe that. But if I want to be consistent with my other moral beliefs, I can't have that much conviction in Christian values, including love and radical empathy and radical understanding and taking your pride and ego down. Maybe we should be strong people. Maybe we should be super harsh and unforgiving. Like, seriously, maybe there is truth to that. And if I'm weak, I'm weak. Maybe one day I'll grow tired of not taking serious stances on anything. Maybe one day I'll grow tired of not having conviction and of not fitting in with any group. And I'll choose some group that I'm just leaning towards to, and I'll find a community within them. But for now, let's talk. Let's chat. Honestly, if you leave a comment down, I'm not gonna lie, I'm terrified of hate, so there's a good chance I won't reply to you. But if we talk IRL, I don't know, message me on Instagram, and if you want to chat and have a conversation. I am a man who is willing to hear you out and admit and concede a lot of points to you more than anyone. I hope you can do the same for me. Even if you don't, maybe I'll plant some seeds in your head. That's it. Red Pill Bro signs out. God bless you. If you believe in love, then you already believe in God, because God is love.